Ice Warriors were leaving Mars.
No, although I have wondered if it might have been because of the flood, from Waters of Mars,
Yeah.
as a way to tie that in. Because as far as we're aware, Sutek was simply imprisoned there, though we don't know the full why and how.
So, if we move on to the third image set, this is the one I was thinking of with the better look at the fourth Doctor screwdriver with showing Nardole catching it and such.
Oh, you mean
the
the third page?
Yeah.
Actually,
the one that starts with "Is there a secret reason?"
Yeah.
I assume this was something added in.
Yeah, this was added in at the last minute, mostly not because of that image, but the images below it.
Yeah.
Showing the possible return of another classic Doctor Who villain, the Movellans from Destiny of the Daleks.
Could you toss me a quick link?
Okay.
Just so I don't have to go digging.
Yep.
There you go.
We mentioned this, but you must have been distracted.
Possibly.
So yeah.
Some of these GIFs are hurting my eyes.
Yeah, the fact that they have them on auto repeat bother the hell out of me.
Well, I mean, at least back in the day, that was the default for GIFs, but I don't know if there's a way to make that optional now.
Yeah, that could be a Movellan. It's very hard to tell, though.
I don't know. If you take a look at the top and you look at the classic Movellans, and then you take a look down there, you look at the hair, you look at the gun, you look at the outfit.
It could be, but again, it's such a short
You look at the
clip.
fact that he has something on his shoulder in that correct area. It's highly possible. I'm not saying a definite.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's definitely not either. It's just...
If you look at the one flying through the air, you look at his freaking gun. The gun.
Actually, I just realized. Yeah, the guy in the bottom left. Okay, yeah, these gotta be Movellans actually. So yeah, that's wow. That's a lot of throwback.
I imagine that's probably going to be in the Dalek episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're probably fighting the Daleks because that's what they do. The Dalek Movellan War was a huge thing.
Possibly with the creepy girl, the drippy girl.
Well, yeah, the nanite girl, yeah, probably because you actually see her in the trailer come up and say exterminate, so she's obviously a Dalek creation. Here's a speculation: are the Daleks going back to try to change the outcome of the Movellan War?
That is also a distinct possibility. It would not be against the Daleks' initiative to try and help fix their own past.
Yeah.
If they found a way to time travel again.
Because remember, the Movellan War ended with a horrific defeat for the Daleks when the Movellans developed a virus that wiped out like 90% of the Dalek population and sent them running back to Davros.
And then because of waking up Davros, we got the split in the Dalek ranks where there's some loyal to Davros and others that were totally against them.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if they're trying to correct a mistake using a more advanced technology.
Or if the Doctor just so happened to accidentally end up right in the middle of the war.
Or if the Movellans have been, sitting in the back burner for a while, rebuilding their numbers and are basically ready to start War 2, the sequel.
Mm-hmm. Also a possibility, because who knows what happened to them after they had succeeded in their conquest of the Daleks. They probably had to take a seat and redevelop their numbers again.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, but you can definitely see the fourth screwdriver in the bottom one where Nardole, and the bottom of all the pictures on this page where Nardole's using it to blow up a circuit box of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the classic Fourth Doctor screwdriver. It is.
I could pull up my fourth Sonic again and not feel like a completely old git.
And shave your head. Shave your head and go as
shave my head, get a waistcoat, and run around with round glasses. I need the round glasses. I think that's the one thing I would be missing for a cosplay of that.
And Matt will be sitting in GeekCon as Nardole.
All right.
Does that mean I have to come out with random costumes all weekend?
Anybody have any other trailer observations that we didn't go over?
Nothing yet. I mean, the fact that it's a pretty much rapid fire stuff, hard to tell. We see stuff for more episodes than we've seen normally, but we normally see this trailer coming out around Christmas. So they've had another few months to work on it. Because usually right now what we're getting is a more detailed trailer for the first episode. And instead what we're getting is more series trailers. So they're really hyping this whole series. I'm kind of wondering if the first episode might be a tad weak. So they're focusing on the series as a whole rather than the first episode. Because, of course, the first episode has to introduce the companion.
So it might flounder a little bit, and they're worried about that.
Mm-hmm.
Even though
I'm
that's
wondering.
what they have to start with. So we'll have to wait and see.
We will probably see a more in-depth episode 1 trailer probably the week before. So like April 7th-ish. I'm speculating. And we're going to see more hype and interviews and build-up. I would not be surprised to see Capaldi go on like Graham Norton or a couple of the American shows. I can't say the late late show anymore because what's his name has moved on, Craig Ferguson.
Mm-hmm.
But he might show up on something, doing some interviews and some talks, as the publicity machine just goes into full hype for the next month. He might show up on Top Gear, though nobody cares anymore.
Not this Top Gear, yeah.
Peter Capaldi could always show up on the Grand Tour to be killed. Okay. I think that's really all we have for the trailer news. We've got some other minor news here.
Yeah. So in our book news, we have a little bit. We previously announced that The Life of Evans was an upcoming title coming in March. Here we have the new cover reveal, and I'm not sure if the blurb is new, but I'll mention that. Brigadier, it's written by John Peel. The blurb says, Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart could never work out what to do with Private Gwynfor Evans, who I believe has been appearing in the books, but is either not from the show or only appeared like as a cameo. He never got on with the troops, was always shirking responsibility. So a reassignment to Imber was in order, and a whole new training program under the watchful eye of Captain Younghusband. Things seemed to be working out. Evans even made a new friend in the shape of Private Tommy Godber. But things soon take a sinister turn when Evans finds himself the prisoner of a strange alien intelligence, the spearhead of a new invasion. But before it continues in its plan, the alien seems oddly curious about the life of Evans. The novel includes a bonus short story by Robert Mammon named Time and Again. And all this news comes from DoctorWhoNews.net.
So the Lethbridge Stewart Candy Jar Books novels are so popular they've gotten a spin-off.
Yep.
The spin-off books have gotten a spin-off.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
So
because it looks
we're
like
doing
there's
a
going to be a
spin-off.
series about Evans going forward.
And there's going to be a character in Evans that is so popular it'll get its spin-off. So we'll get the spin-off of a spin-off of a spin-off.
The movie of a game of a movie?
That's Big Finish's business model. So yeah.
This is the written version of Big Finish, yes.
when we get to Jago and Lightfoot series 13.
Jago and Lightfoot are still technically only a spin-off.
Okay, what about Jago and Lightfoot and Strax?
That's
That's
still
taking
technically
two
just a
spin-offs
one-step
and combining them into
They
I'm not
did
even
a crossover to two different spin-offs. It's not its own series.
it's still frightening to me. But
Arguably, Charlotte Pollard is spin-off of a spin-off because the Eighth Doctor is a spin-off from the movie that was never actually a TV show.
Nope.
No.
Wrong. It is, however, a spin-off of a non-canon source, much like Bernie Summerfield is a spin-off from the non-canon novels, but it's still technically only spin-off 1. It's still Gen 1, not Gen 2 there, Bill.
When do we get Frobisher back?
We can't quite do 7 degrees of.
Someone needs to get Colin pushing for more Frobisher stories.
So speaking of Big Finish, we've got some news from Big Finish coming out. One of which is currently out now as of yesterday, and that is Torchwood Visiting Hours, which stars Kai Owen and Nerys Hughes, and written by David Llewellyn, and directed by Scott Hancock. I believe we've done the blurb before on this one.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, when
Familiar to me?
it was first announced.
Yep. So it is currently out now, available for £7.99 on download and $9.99 on CD. Or you can buy the next 6 titles in the Torchwood series on a subscription for £40, download £40 CD. Note that starting next month, the subscription rates will go up by £10 each. So if you want the best value, get it this month. Also, we have a whole bunch of upcoming release news from Big Finish. The first has to do with the 9th Doctor Chronicles, which, I think we've talked a little bit about this before.
We announced it. The blurbs and author names and such are all new. But we announced that it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And that it would be starring Nick Briggs.
Nick Briggs, Camille Curry,
and Bruno Langley. Yeah.
Yep. So the first, there are 4 stories in the set. The first one is The Bleeding Heart by Cavan Scott. Galen is a place where people come to heal. The renowned Planet of Peace seems the ideal venue for talks between 2 warring races. But when death disrupts the diplomacy, Cosmic 9 news reporter Adriana Jarsdell uncovers a different story. Luckily, someone there is there to help. A battle-weary veteran from another war. The Doctor has come to Galen, but is he looking for peace or something else entirely? Next is The Window on the Moor by Una McCormick. Emily and her sisters once told each other fables of warring kingdoms. Wicked princes, noble dukes, and their battling armies. Now she wanders the moors of her childhood alone, remembering those tales. The TARDIS arrives and a strange civil war with prisons made of glass and cities stalked by terrifying beasts. As windows open between worlds, stories and storyteller meet, and Rose comes face to face with Emily Bronte. Third is The Other Side by Scott Hancock. Didn't I just mention he was directing on Torchwood?
Yes.
Rose has invited a new friend on board the TARDIS, against the Doctor's better judgment. But when the Time Lord tries to take his unwelcome guest home, a temporal tsunami cuts the journey short. The travelers find the source of the disturbance inside an abandoned cinema. Will Adam Mitchell help or hinder when the Doctor and Rose discover what is lurking on the other side of the screen?
It's a mid-quill to the long game, apparently.
Yep. And final is Retail Therapy by James Goss. Jackie Tyler is a success. Every home should have a Glubby Club, and Jackie is star saleswoman of the Powell estate. At last, she's found her calling, and it's only a matter of time before she can give Rose the life she deserves. But the Doctor isn't impressed. Jackie Tyler isn't just filling people's houses with useless clutter. He believes she's launching an alien invasion.
Is her salesman, you can trust me?
Sounds
mean
like a
her
better
tagline?
version of the. Yeah. Sounds like a better version of the Power of 3.
Yeah, that too.
No, I would love it if Jackie Tyler's thing is trust me on this, because that would just absolutely blow my mind.
Oh, that's what it was. Trust me on this.
That would absolutely. I would have to give.
Oh, that's right. The "you can trust me" was Rose trying to say it and getting it wrong.
Yep. See, unique format. Okay, so
Yada, yada,
this will be
yada.
released in May, priced at £20 on download,